Welcome to Full Gear 2020. Guys, this was a good show. But I'm not going to lie here. This damn show was too damn long. And it showed. If no one has a problem with a 4.5 hour show because you're counting also the kickoff show, buy in. Fine. Happy for you. That's 5 hours. But I'm telling you right now, not just because I'm a reviewer, but I'm also a fan. Not everyone is going to be fond of waiting around for so long for a show that ends at 12 o'clock. Look, when it came to the fans, it was about 1,000 of them. They were tired as hell. They were barely cheering. It was the wrestlers who was trying to cheer on everyone to try and hype them up while some of the later matches was going on. It was just too much, too long. And I do not agree with these shows being 4 or even up to 5 hours with a kickoff show. Buy in. I just don't agree with it. I don't. Flat out, I don't agree. So, was this good? Yes, it was. But there were things in the show that I easily can say less would have been better. Let's go through the show and I'll explain. Now, let's open with Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page for the final spot in the elimination, which would make them the #1 contender. Don Callis from Impact Wrestling, I believe I got a shot of him, he's in my face. Seeing that they didn't have a problem of acknowledging another company's executive, he's an executive vice president of Impact Wrestling. That is his position, along with doing something originally on the show. He doesn't do it anymore. I wish he would. It was good to see him there on commentary. He actually added a lot to the entire match. He really made the match a lot better. And mind you, this match was not bad. It was a damn good match, and I believe it's the best match of the night for me personally. Not taking anything away from the other matches, it was the best match of the night, and I do agree that this was the right spot for it. And when it came to Kenny and it came to Paige, I'll tell you this: the story was good and well built. The wondering how they would match up against each other was well done. The video packages, which are repeats, was alright. And I had no problem with it. But I gotta admit, this is just me. I would have liked to see Hangman Page win. I'm not gonna lie. I would have liked to see him win and see the direction they would have gone going up against Moxley. And hopefully they would build him up to a certain point where he would be something interesting going up against Moxley, trying to incorporate the drinking thing to make it more interesting. And then they go down a different path with Kenny Omega and do something they wouldn't normally think of doing. Maybe him going up against Cody Rhodes. Now, I know that's kind of stupid and not everyone will agree with it, but I would have liked to see that. But Kenny wins. I'm not surprised. They've been building him up to this. And there's no problem with it. But I would have liked to see that different angle. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, I gotta say this. When it came to Orange Cassidy and Silvia, #4 from Dark Order, I'm gonna be honest here. This shouldn't have been on the show. It wasn't a bad match. Silver looked good. His persona has improved. His wrestling is good. He's a strong wrestler. He was literally throwing Orange Cassidy around like he was a rag doll. And it was Orange Cassidy who won. And I kind of think that Silver should have won. I don't think it would hurt Orange Cassidy to lose in this respect. He should have won. And that's Silver. But here's the thing. I'm sorry. This match was a good match. But it's a dynamite match, not a full gear match. And you know what could have been in this place? And I'm really, honestly, it shouldn't have been on the show. And they could have saved that time and shortened the show a little bit by 20 or 30 minutes. Well, it was like 15 to 20 minutes that match went on. Say about 15 minutes almost. They could have shortened that. And they should have shortened it. But you know what? If they had to have something in that spot, they could have had the NWA Women's Championship of Selena Deeks and Allison Kay, which was a damn good match. And I know not anybody I know some of my subscribers can't stand that NWA is working with AEW. They can't stand it. But like I said, NWA is not doing good right now, and they need to have exposure no matter how much you hate them working with them. They need it. What they're doing and doing that $7.99 thing, which I don't know if they're making that much money, and I haven't even seen past the first episode. And primetime, they need more. So having them on the show and the kickoff show was okay, but it would have been better on the main show. Something special to show that AEW is working with other promotions and making them mean something which could help. And I truly believe if they didn't get rid of Silver and Orange Cassidy, but it would have saved the show several minutes. They needed to shorten this show. But if they needed something there, seeing that Selena Deeks managed to retain, and she did retain, against Allison Kay, that would have been better in that spot. That's just me, you guys tell me below. Next, we had the TNT title match of Cody Rhodes. Yes, Cody finally managed to get his name back. The WWE finally stopped the lawsuit, and they let Cody finally get the copyright of his name that his dad gave him, Dusty Rhodes. It actually fits to see Cody Rhodes instead of Cody, because as it was, it just felt blank. He didn't feel like a person. Having his father's last name, his wrestling last name, makes perfect sense. And either Vince just said, you know what, I don't give a fuck, forget it, let him have this, it ain't gonna help us. We're not gonna do anything with Dusty Rhodes or Dustin Rhodes or anything, just let him have the damn name. If they did that, I commend them. Honestly, I do. Now, the match itself with Darby Allin, with the video packages. The video packages were actually quite good. The match itself was actually very good. Seeing that they tried to make it that Darby Allin gets his arm wrenched up. His left arm, I believe it was left arm, gets put behind his back, and he gets thrown outside the ring, and that's what Cody did. He literally put him into a hammerlock, threw him outside the damn ring, and that was it. He played that arm damage the entire match. And Cody, being Cody, having an attitude throughout most of that match, having a chip on his shoulder, or just acting heelish, makes you wonder, when are they finally going to turn him heel? I don't know if anybody else had that feeling. I'm thinking, when are they going? When are they going to finally pull the trigger? Is it going to be next year? Middle of next year? The beginning of next year? That's my question. We got Darby Allin winning the damn title. Which, for me personally, I love Darby Allin. I do. I still think Darby Allin is the second coming of Mick Foley. I truly believe he has that kind of personality of not giving a damn. He will destroy his body. He will do whatever it takes to win. He will destroy his body if he needs to. That is a mankind type of mentality. That is a type of Mick Foley mentality, and that's why I believe he is the next coming of Mick Foley. And seeing that he won the title, I'm sort of happy, but I'm not. Because I feel that he should be challenging for that title to one person. One. And that is Pac. I want to see him win against Pac. Because I feel that that would have been the better match for him at a signature pay-per-view. Not taking anything away from Cody. I'm not. It's a great win for him. And I'm glad he got it. And what happened afterward when it came to Taz coming out, saying, we're going to get you, that, enjoy your moment. You're crying like a little damn baby. Enjoy your moment because we're going to destroy you. And then Cage and Starks come out and whoop the ass of all of them. Fine. But I would have liked to see him go up against Pac and win it that way. I just feel like it would be a better fit for him. That's just me. You guys can tell me below. You probably won't agree with it, but understand that's just what I want to see. FTR versus the Bucks. Now, this was telegraphed. We knew it. The storytelling was okay. The storytelling of FTR pissing off the Bucks, and the Bucks getting so mad, willing to do whatever it takes to show how great they are, particularly that for the last year, they have not gotten anywhere near the titles. I kind of agree with what most people said, that they shouldn't have said if they lose, they won't go after the titles. They literally telegraphed it. And I kind of wish they had actually gone through with it. Because as much as it was good storytelling in the ring, because that was a damn good match. Look, Dawson hurt his hand at one point while the match was going on. He had to get it wrapped because it got cut open. And he kept going. And he made it look good. In the end, seeing the Bucks win, yes, it was predictable, and it's not a bad story, but I think would have been a better story to see the Bucks lose and they break up for 6 months or something and then come back after FTR drops the damn titles, because guess what? They could go back and get the titles and try if FTR is not there. And I think that would have been the best thing. They say, if they had to go through, they say as long as FTR is the champ, they will never go after the champs. They will never go after the titles. And they could have held it for 5 to 6 months. When they drop it, then you'd have the Bucks come back together. Let them be separated. Give them something extra. Kind of like what's going on with Jey Uso, away from Jimmy, and not really working with his cousin Roman Reigns, but against him as his opponent. But actually, he's not anymore because he's basically his servant. But that would have been something interesting for the Bucks. But that's just me, guys. Tell me below. Now, how can I say this? With the women, they should have been on Dynamite. Shida versus Nia Rhodes with Vicky Guerrero by her side. This match, you can see them in my face. I mean, they were already on my shoulder, but you see them in my face. Look, I don't hate Nia Rhodes. I don't hate Hikaru Shida. I don't hate Vicky Guerrero. I love Vicky. And I see Nia Rhodes having potential with more seasoning because she still needs work. And I see Shida, if she was sponsored more, she would mean something. But as it stands, this could have been left to a Dynamite. Because they never built this up to be interesting. We barely saw Vicky. We barely saw Nia Rhodes. We even see less of Shida. We don't get no video packages on her. We get no real storyline with her. We get no vignettes of her. We get nothing from either one of these women for weeks. Yes, they set this up, but it doesn't mean anything. Nothing. So when Shida gets hurt by Nia Rhodes, hurts her, I should care that Shida should try to prevail, but I don't care. I don't give a damn. And I want to give a damn about Shida, and I want to give a damn about Nia Rhodes, but they've done nothing with the women's division, so I don't care. And I should. And particularly when it comes to Shida, she's no better than Rio. Rio was the first women's champion who should have never been champion. They should have had Awesome Kong become the first champion. They should have had someone with a real name become the first AEW champion, but they decided to leave it with a female Japanese wrestler who was 22 years old, who was unknown in America, and worse yet, she wasn't in America often enough. She didn't do any video packages with an interpreter. She'd done nothing. So no one cared about her, and now no one cares about Shida, who can speak freaking English. The woman can speak English. Hell, I'm in New York and she speaks better English than most people I know. The woman can speak English. Even if it's mostly broken. I know people have broken English. So seeing Shida win, didn't care. And it could have been left off the show, and another 15 to 20 minutes could have been taken from the show. That's me. You guys tell me below. Now, this is something that I know not everyone's going to agree with me. And I'm torn on it, but I have to make it very clear. As I said, less could have been better for the show. Matt versus Sammy. The the Elite Deletion match. I loved it. It's a lot like the old Matt Hardy, when he was with Brother Nero and the Ultimate Deletion. It was built that way, and I'm not sure everyone's going to be interested in it now, because it's still following the same similar formula of being at the compound, using fireworks, wrestling, a lot of hardcore wrestling, being thrown into the lake of rejuvenation and resurrection, rejuvenation, I think rejuvenation, seeing that Private Party was there, seeing that when it came to Ortiz and Santana being there, seeing that a monster truck, that was the opening with a golf cart getting destroyed by a monster truck that Matt Hardy was driving, that was awesome. That was something going back to what happened with Hulk Hogan working with WCW, driving a monster truck himself. I liked that. As much as this was a great segment and Matt won, this could have been saved for a Dynamite. They could have done this on a Dynamite, making it special. At the end of Dynamite, they could have done this. Build it up as something special. There's going to be an Ultimate Deletion match in a sense. I really believe they could have done that. I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but you got to see it for what it is. We got nearly a 5-hour show. And they put in filler matches and this, which could have been saved for a Dynamite. And I really do believe it could have saved for a Dynamite, making it special, making it a spectacle, because the WWE does this now all the time. And I'm not saying Dynamite needs to, but it doesn't mean it wouldn't have worked. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to see it for what it is. Having filler matches was not necessary. Orange Cassidy and Silvia didn't need to be there. When it came to Nia Rose and Sheeta, they didn't need to be there. Yes, I would love that they're treated better, but they didn't need to be there. I'd rather have seen Selena Deeks and Allison Kay than see Nia Rose and Hiro Sheeta. Yeah, you see I'm botching, because I really don't want to say that, because I hate saying the women don't deserve to be on a pay-per-view when they do. Now, MJF versus Y2J. Now, here's the thing. I saw most of the match. And by the time this was going on, the crowd was still pretty active, with lows and highs. I understand why they put the fillers in there, to try and bring the crowds down and bring them back up. But in this situation, because the show was so long, by the time halfway into that match, the crowd was already dying, because it was already nearing 10:30 or 10:35 by that time, when this match was nearing its end. I even fell asleep for a couple of minutes. And then it's not like I hated the match either. It was not 100% a bad match when it came to MJF and Chris. And it was great to see that MJF was willing to be sneaky and try to trick the ref that Chris nailed him in the face with his bat. I'm cool with that. And that now he's in the inner circle, which I'm fine with. We can get some really good mileage out of the inner circle now with MJF in it, dealing with Chris. But the thing is that this show is too damn long. I'm botching now because it's already past 12, guys. In New York, it is well past 12. And I'm tired. I've been up for a while. And the key of this situation is, it was too long. And I don't agree with what they did here. Particularly when it came to Kingston and Moxley. The last match of the night, the I Quit match. Which was the second best match of the night in story. And the most brutal match that they had on the damn show. It was so brutal. Particularly when you see the ending when it came to Matt and Sammy Guevara. And Sammy Guevara's head is busted open. And his mouth is bleeding. And by then, while the crowds were watching that, they were really quiet most of the time. And you see this match, it was the wrestlers who were trying to cheer the most, because the crowd was almost dead. There was barely any cheering. Yeah, there was a point there was cheering, very light, sporadic cheering from the crowd and the wrestlers, but people were tired. And this kills me when it comes to this match, because that was a damn good match. Kingston did a great job in that match with Moxley. It did a great job being hardcore wrestler. Not everyone's going to care about that. Not everyone likes hardcore wrestling. But here, it worked with both their mentalities. They're both rough thug guys. And it actually works with the mentality. Seeing Kingston was willing to put barbed wire around his hand and start whacking Moxley in the head really showed that he didn't care how he hurt himself. He wasn't going to quit. He didn't care. He put thumbtacks down. He threw him into the thumbtacks. Then he even fell into the thumbtacks a little bit himself, and he wasn't willing to stop. He grabbed thumbtacks and threw it into Moxley's face and got it stuck in his hands. He didn't care. He was willing to take getting hit in the stomach with the barbed wire bat originally before it was even the parts of the barbed wire pulled off, and he's bleeding from the mouth. That just shows how tough he was. And it took Moxley wrapping barbed wire around his forearm and wrapping around his neck and wrenching back with that bulldog choke to finally get Kingston to say, "I quit." A damn good match. But quiet. Very few people cared because they were tired. If this was a full arena, maybe it would have been louder if they had 5,000 people in it. And it would have really helped that maybe half the people were tired, but the other half was still lively enough to be able to make the show mean something. And even though Kenny Omega came out to make it mean something that soon they're going to be facing each other again. After the last match I had last year, this show, as good as it was in many of the matches, FTR and the Bucks was a good match. Matt and Sammy Guevara was good, but it shouldn't have been on the show. Silver and Orange Cassidy could have been left out. Nia Rose and Sheeta could have been left out. You could have moved the NWA title to there. And if you had to have both women on there, why not remove Sammy and Matt and remove Silver and Orange Cassidy and have both of them on there? And at least you would have had 2 matches for the women. I just don't agree with these long, overdone, not that it's a bad, sorry for the noise, people like riding their bikes at this time. Well, overdone time. I know they want to get everything in to make things great, but you could have shortened it. It's still a good show, and I would recommend you watching it, particularly Hangman Page and Kenny Omega was the best match. You will really like how they worked. When it came to Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, their segment of the Elite Deletion, I can't pronounce the damn thing. That was good. The Moxley and Kingston was really good. And the Bucks and FTR was good. But it was too long. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below what you think. And I rarely ask this, but leave a like. I mean, the algorithm is not really being friendly to me. I rarely get seen. And if you guys really think I should be seen by more people, leave a couple of likes. Maybe the algorithm will say, okay, this guy's actually being seen. Maybe a few more people could see it. It's not like I'm making money. I don't care about making money. I just hope that people will like what I make. Peace.